I'm going to begin, John, just by asking, I mean, the brief for this character, effectively, is you have to be the kind of comic relief, and yet probably the saddest character in the movie. That must have been quite a challenge, I guess, to get that balance of having that kind of emotional responsibility, but also having the kind of humorous touch as well.
Yeah, I think that's true of people, though, in general. Often people in the most tragic circumstances have a sense of humor because that's the only way you get through things like that. If you dwell on your misery, you want to just jump off a cliff or something. But in order to be an optimist, in order to move through, in order to survive, you have to have a laugh about stuff now and then. And yeah, I actually relished the role I had in that way because it was a lot of it's very serious, and my character would often be the one saying some crazy thing in the midst of it. So that was fun to be that person.
So if you were kind of stranded on an island for 3 decades, what would be your one luxury item if you could only take one thing?
Luxury item, I suppose a boat would be handy, but you wouldn't be there for 30 years if that was the case. But
Unless it was a really small boat, like one of those toy boats.
Yeah, that'd be like, that'd be some horrible wish gone wrong if you met a genie. You said, I want a boat, and he gave you some little toy. I suppose you'd miss ice. If you were away from refrigeration all that time, you'd miss like something cold, a milkshake or an ice cream cone.
This just sort of carries on with your career. Just every sort of project seems so different from the last, whether it's kind of a drama like when you talk about Kevin or kind of the comedies you've done with Will Ferrell and stuff. I mean, are you always kind of deliberately searching for something new and something different to the last project, or do you just follow where the kind of best scripts and the best stories come?
Both. And actors, as much as people like to say, like, well, my goal as an actor is to do this or do that. Like, the truth is, an actor's job, you're fielding opportunities that are generated by other people. So, you can develop stuff on your own, which I also do. But for the most part, you're seeing what's coming your way, and then you just have to be really careful what you choose, because then that dictates the next thing that's going to come your way sometimes. So. Yeah, I've been really lucky. A lot of variety in my career and a lot of different opportunities, and I've been really lucky that the audience, especially, is willing to see me as different things, dramatic or funny or whatever.
And what I'm really excited about is Stan and Ollie. Now, I'm just wondering about the kind of the tone to this. Is it going to be quite a kind of a dramatic kind of look into the kind of human beings behind the characters, or is this going to kind of thrive in that same quite kind of farcical nature that sort of Laurel and Hardy movies kind of used to have?
We'll see. I'll see you at the junket.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think then.
Because, I mean, the film does depend so much on the kind of chemistry with Steve Coogan. I was wondering, are you sort of aware of his work? Have you ever seen Alan Partridge and stuff like that?
Of course, I'm a huge Steve Coogan fan, yeah.
But in regards to having that kind of relationship with a sort of fellow actor and someone that you have that kind of camaraderie with, I mean, obviously with Will Ferrell it's there, and you've got Holmes and Watson as well. What was it like kind of working with him again after quite a number of years?
It was great, and then we'll talk about that at the junket also. There's going to be a huge press junket for Holmes Watson. Yeah, I bet there'll be a London premiere of Holmes.
There probably will.
Watson.
I'm just worried, if this is the only chance I get to speak to you, I thought I'll just tick every box while I'm here.
Oh, no. Surely it won't be the only chance you get to speak to me.
But my very final question, there can't be a junket for this because this was a few years ago, but just on the kind of topic of working with Will, I mean, I was just wondering about Stepbrothers, because it's got this kind of incredible cult following. I think it's probably potentially the greatest comedy ever made.
Oh,
and I was just wondering if when you were making it, you got a sense that it was going to have that kind of, reaction from fans, and if it sort of surprises you still to this day that it's got this kind of it's so loved by people.
It doesn't surprise me that people love it, because I love it myself. So I understand what people love about it. I think when we're making it, I suppose it's always a surprise when everyone else thinks what you think is funny also, So when we're making it, we were just trying to be really honest and tell really personal stories. Actually, Stepbrothers, a lot of the things that happen in Stepbrothers came from my childhood or Will's childhood, and we sort of told each other these stories, and then we just grafted them onto these older guys. But getting jumped by a bunch of kids, or having your brother get mad at you for playing his drums, or whatever it is, a lot of that stuff really happened to us. So when we were making the film, I think we were hoping that people would relate to it. But honestly, it was a total guess at whether it was going to have the kind of impact that it has. But it's definitely the most beloved film I think I've made.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey You